On to one of the big stories that we've been tracking here since Friday. The gloves were off when the Deputy RBI Governor Viral Acharya decided to use the opportunity of a public lecture to criticize the government and the executive function for trying to influence policy decisions of the central bank. Amidst all of that, the Finance Minister Arun Jaitley was today speaking publicly, and he used that opportunity to talk about the indiscriminate lending that took place between 2008 and 2014, when he says the central bank looked the other way. He talked about how it was the NDA government which decided to bring to forth the exact extent of the mess that before the government came to power under the central bank's leadership. NPAs were being declared at 2.5 lakh crore rupees when the rot was far worse at over 6 lakh crores. Before we go any further, this is what Arun Jaitley said about 30 minutes back.
I think if you see the problem, which was a key problem, and I think on various occasions when we've transacted either in India or in the US, what are you doing about the banking system? You see, 2008 to 2014, after the global economic crisis, to keep the economy artificially going, banks were told, open your doors and lend indiscriminately. The central bank looked the other way. There was indiscriminate lending. Government was pushing. It was almost, the phones used to go and they used to lend. And there were years during this period where the normal bank credit growth should be about 14% annually, seeing India's growth rate. So you had a 31% credit growth in a year, 29 in another year. And they went into projects of demerit, which didn't have the capacity to sustain this kind of capital. And it is exactly those people who were lent during this period. You see, the total bank credit in India from 18 lakh crores in 2008, by 2014 went up to 55 lakh crores. And this is something the banks could sustain, the borrowers couldn't sustain, and you had the NPA problem. And then what you did was, and I'm surprised at that time, the government looked the other way, the banks looked the other way. I don't know what the central bank was doing, which was a regulator of these. They kept pushing the truth below the carpet. And we were told, oh, well, the total number of NPAs are about 2.5 lakh crores. So when we did the asset quality review in 2015, with the central bank doing it, we found there were already 8.5 lakh crores. The rest were all hidden below the carpet. So transparency came in. And the IBC, I think, struck the right note. India had a culture of that till you got a loan, you woke up day and night. And after you got it, the bankers couldn't sleep. Because you had no intention of paying it back.
Yeah.
So some of the businesses are operating on this principle. So the creditors were chasing the debtor, and the system was so poor that they had to wait endlessly till they got their monies back.
That's a